All right, so today we're going to deconstruct a brand that doesn't just sell houses. Nope, it sells these really distinct, sometimes even competing visions of what the good life looks like. We're talking about EV Fantasy, a company that builds entire worlds, and we're going to dive in and see what they tell us about, well, about what we all really want. I mean, what if your home was more than just a home? What if it was a statement, like a manifesto for how you see the world and where you fit into it all? That's really the core question EV Fantasy is posing. And, the way they answer it, it reveals some pretty deep truths about what we're all looking for in a place to live. So, for some people, the answer looks just like this. A modern tropical villa where the lines between inside and outside, they just completely dissolve, right? You can almost feel that warm breeze moving right through those open walls. You can hear the jungle just beyond. It's a whole world built on this idea of effortless, natural flow. Then again, for others, it's this. A high-rise urban apartment. It's like a platform, literally, above all the noise, a sleek beacon of sophistication. And this isn't just about the view, right? It's about a whole mindset, one of sharp clarity and absolute control, smack dab in the heart of the city. And then, for still others, you have this. A home that just refuses to chase trends because it's built to honor something deeper, a deeper truth. It's grounded, it's connected, it feels like it's built with heart. So yeah, 3 totally different answers to the same question, all coming from the same brand.
So welcome to the world of EV Fantasy. In this explainer, we're going to break down the 3 core fantasies they're selling: living in harmony with nature, commanding the future, and embracing the sanctuary of tradition. Let's dig in.
All right, first up, this fantasy of living in harmony with nature. And look, we're not just talking about a house with a nice view here. This is about a deep, almost spiritual connection to the land itself. And what's really interesting is that even within this one fantasy, there are 2 totally different paths. On one hand, you've got the rugged, elevated solitude of a mountain retreat. This kind of architecture, it really speaks to the individualist, right? The person who wants to literally live above the noise. But then you have the serene, open expanse of a coastal mansion, which promises something different. Not isolation, but a slower, more connected pace of life. And you've got to listen to the language they use. This quote from the coastal mansion's description, it isn't selling you walls and windows, it's selling an emotional outcome. It's literally the promise that the building itself can fundamentally change the very rhythm of your life. So what are the key ingredients that make up this whole fantasy? Well, it's about architecture that actually breathes, with these huge glass walls that don't just frame the outdoors, but actively invite it in. It's about views so powerful they can literally quiet your mind. And it's about using materials that feel like they were born right out of the landscape. The whole idea is this seamless integration between human and nature. Okay, but what if your fantasy isn't about escaping the world? What if it's about actively redesigning it? Well, that brings us to the second big vision. Architecture for the future. And right off the bat, we see 2 competing paths to what that future looks like. You've got the eco-smart home, where the future is all about sustainability and a kind of symbiotic relationship with the planet. But then you have the ultra-modern glass house, where the future is about minimalism, transparency, and total technological control over your environment. 2 very different takes. So this eco-smart home, it's not even just called a house. They describe it as a living system. That green roof, it's not just for looks. It's actually cooling the home. The solar panels are providing its clean energy. You can see that this vision of the future is built on a responsible partnership with the environment. But the glass house, whoa, that's a radically different vision of the future. This quote from its marketing is so telling. You don't just live in this house, you command it. I mean, that's a huge shift, right? From partnership to mastery. Here, technology, from the automated climate control to the intelligent lighting, it learns you and it works for you. This is the fantasy of ultimate efficiency and control. This contrast really forces us to ask a pretty sharp question, one the brand itself almost seems to be asking. Are you looking for a home that lets you retreat and find peace? Or are you looking for a platform to build from, to reset, to lead? Is it a sanctuary or is it a launchpad? And that idea of sanctuary leads us perfectly into our third and final fantasy, the home that's built on these deep foundations of privacy and tradition. And just look at these 2 powerful ideas of what a sanctuary can be.
On one side, the private estate gives you a world within walls. It's all about creating absolute privacy, an impenetrable space for inner peace. It's safety through exclusion. But then, the traditional Nigerian bungalow offers a totally different kind of safety, one that isn't rooted in exclusion at all, but in deep inclusion within a culture, a community, and a shared heritage. So what ties these two really different sanctuaries together? It's a deep focus on values that are just timeless. You can feel it in this sense of quiet, proud hospitality that kind of lives in the walls. It's a connection to something much bigger than yourself. We're talking legacy, truth, generations. This isn't about chasing the latest trend. It's about building on a permanent foundation. And this really gets to the core philosophy here. In a world that's so obsessed with rising higher and being seen, this fantasy suggests that true elevation, well, it isn't always about going up. Sometimes it's about going deeper, connecting with your roots and creating a space of just profound inner calm. Okay, so we've seen three distinct, powerful, and in some ways competing visions of what a home can be. So what is the ultimate elevated vision? How do we pull all of these fantasies together? Well, here's how it breaks down. The nature fantasy, it's selling peace through connection. The future fantasy is all about selling control through vision and efficiency. And the tradition fantasy, that sells a sense of belonging through legacy. It's really the difference between a home that breathes with you, a home that works for you, and a home that truly grounds you. And that brings us to the real core message of EV fantasy. See, they aren't actually arguing that one of these is better than the others. Their ultimate point is that the greatest luxury isn't about a particular style at all. It's about having a home that is a perfect physical reflection of your deepest values and aspirations. Which leaves us with one last thought to chew on. If your home really is a reflection of your identity, a story you tell the world, and more importantly, yourself every single day, what story are you telling? And maybe the better question is, what story do you want to tell next?